Hey guys, LevelCap here, and welcome to another episode of This Week in Gaming. We do this show every week, so be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications to catch the next one. Today, we're taking a look at the disastrous Inside Xbox event, Battlefield 5's second to last update, Apex Legends Season 5, and much more. Microsoft made a bold claim leading up to their Inside Xbox event that went live Thursday. They promised real gameplay of Xbox Series X titles. Unfortunately, it turns out that promising to show gameplay and just showing story trailers is a really bad idea. The Inside Xbox event kicked off with viewers excited to get a glimpse at the next-gen games. However, what we ended up seeing was a mix of in-engine cutscenes, story trailers, a few snippets of gameplay from select titles, and extended developer interviews that were basically just marketing Series X features like smart delivery. The outrage was pretty much instantaneous. The event's live stream chat on all platforms was filled with complaints about the lack of gameplay. Social media was buzzing with the same comments, and even news media picked up on Microsoft's deceptive attitude. It got so bad that the head of Xbox's marketing made a public statement saying, "Clearly, we made some wrong expectations with the information leading up to the event." Dashed expectations aside, what was shown did have a lot going for it. The event was host to several trailers for several unannounced titles like Medium, The Ascent, Scarlet Nexus, and more. It was also the first new info we've gotten in over a year about the upcoming H.R. Geiger-inspired horror game Scorn. Smart delivery was featured heavily throughout. If you buy a game on Xbox Series X, it'll also be added to your accounts on the Xbox One and PC if a version of the game is available on those platforms. It's a great feature and very consumer-friendly, something that I've been wanting for years. The event also confirmed select titles like Dirt 5 will feature the Series X 120 FPS mode as an output option. This lets the console run games above 60 FPS, likely at the expense of resolution or visual quality settings. It'll be the first time a modern console has allowed high refresh rate output and is a massive step in the right direction for the console market. Console gamers have been locked at 60 Hz output since basically forever, assuming the games they're playing even run above 30 FPS. Microsoft pushing so hard for console-enabled higher frame rates is awesome. Previously, this has been a luxury that only the PC market has been able to enjoy. The Series X will also feature support for Xbox One titles running in an optimized mode that improves their performance and resolution. Overall, the Xbox Inside event was a massive fail for Microsoft in terms of messaging. They said one thing and showed something else entirely. But it's still an excellent showcase for their launch titles and progressive features. Microsoft are currently planning future events for June and July that will showcase actual gameplay, including something from Halo Infinite. Battlefield 5's second to last update is tentatively scheduled for Tuesday. Patch notes will go live on Monday and include highlights like improved AA gameplay, changes to tank weaponry, outposts being added to Twisted Steel, and more. DICE recently stirred the pot by releasing a trailer for the next Elite character coming to the game as a paid item. And while it's obviously fairly tone-deaf to announce paid cosmetics for a game that they just pulled the plug on, it was also decided on before DICE probably even realized that they would be ending support for the game. As per usual, I'll be doing a full review and overview of the patch when it launches on Tuesday, so stay tuned for that. From the little that we've seen of it, it sounds like a pretty well-rounded attempt at polishing the game's remaining balance problems ahead of the final patch next month. That patch will add at least one new map, new weapons, vehicles, and more. Apex Legends Season 5 goes live next Tuesday, and it's shaking things up in a pretty big way. It'll add the new hero Loba, who can teleport and buy weapons. It makes substantial changes to the Kings Canyon map. It also introduces a new battle pass and cosmetics. But probably the most significant change coming in Season 5 is the introduction of in-game objective events. Throughout a match, players can loot hidden items that progress an in-game event storyline. There will also be objectives that spawn during matches players can complete for bonuses and challenges. Since launch, Apex's story content has been delivered mostly through its marketing, with story trailers and events tied to the Battle Pass. That's been the case for most Battle Royale games in general. Apex seems like it'll be the first Battle Royale actually to integrate its story with its gameplay. Hopefully it adds some meaningful gameplay and isn't just the usual stand here for X amount of time to get loot kind of event seen in Fortnite and Warzone. Speaking of Warzone, Infinity Ward recently issued a couple of important patches for Modern Warfare. The first removed helicopters from the Battle Royale mode due to an exploit that let players fly under the map. The following update finally nerfed the Snake Shot Akimbo pistols. Helicopters were re-enabled about a day later. Warzone's meta has been dominated by RPGs and Snake Shot pistols for around 2 weeks. Players quickly discovered this loadout could chew through armor almost instantly, and it became a staple of the typical Warzone loadout. The update reduces the non-Akimbo Snake Shot one-hit kill range from 5 meters to 3.8 meters. It also fixed a bug that let pistol damage and by extension the Snake Shot do more than intended at range. These fixes combined have brought the Akimbo Snake Shot loadout more in line with reality, but it's still dangerous and effective. Cyberpunk 2077 isn't launching until September, but its character customization system is already making waves. As it turns out, the developers are doubling down on the game's character system, letting players do basically whatever they want. You will have full control over the shape and make of your character's private parts. Want a character with boobs and giant nuts? Well, 2077 will let you do that. Leaks concerning The Last of Us Part 2 made their way online recently, causing a massive backlash from fans of the game at whoever did it, and also potentially at the direction that Naughty Dog are taking the story. To be honest though, many of the concerns seem to boil down to the usual Gamergate rhetoric we've seen about any game that dares to nudge the boundaries these days. The good news is, Sony have released a new trailer showcasing more gameplay and some bits of the story. It looks solid as usual. My advice is to wait for the game to launch before throwing it under the bus and avoid the leaked spoilers if possible. Doom Eternal has been at the center of a weird controversy over the past few weeks as well. It all started when Eternal's official soundtrack album released to mixed reviews about its audio quality. This prompted its composer, Mick Gordon, to reveal the majority of the album has been mixed by id and not him. Rumors about the situation ran wild for days until the game's executive producer, Mary Stratton, posted an open letter on Reddit explaining what happened. Basically, Gordon and id reached a compromise due to time constraints that had id's lead audio designer edit together selections of music to accompany what Gordon could deliver on time. Unfortunately, due to the tumultuous process of getting the game's soundtrack done, as well as the outrage caused by the album's release, it sounds like Gordon won't be the composer for future Doom games. And considering just how good and important the music for the latest Doom games has been, it's a real shame to think that that music has not been preserved properly in the original soundtrack and that we won't be hearing any more of it in future Doom games. Hopefully Gordon and id will be able to mend the situation down the road, otherwise I fear it might actually change the Doom game significantly and maybe not for the better. We just got our first glimpse at the game's upcoming DLC, and it is bittersweet knowing that Gordon's music will not be a part of it. Valorant's anti-cheat driver Vanguard is apparently causing all sorts of issues for players. Riot recently enabled the notification system for the driver anytime it blocks a program, letting the user know what it blocked. As it turns out, it's been blocking standard CPU monitoring tools, some of which other software relies on to function properly. One such piece of software regulates the fan speed of certain PC cooling systems. Having this program blocked means that the user's PC could quickly overheat, leading to issues in-game and even hardware failures. Riot issued a patch that prevents Vanguard from blocking these programs, but you still have to manually disable them to play the game. Clearly, Riot have a long way to go before Vanguard is ready for prime time. It's one of the most intrusive and suspicious anti-cheat programs ever shipped with a game, and has players on edge about privacy and data theft concerns, which are definitely valid considering the parent company. In our final story this week, the Master Chief Collection is getting Halo 2 next week on PC. It releases on Tuesday for all Master Chief Collection owners. The port has been available for a couple of weeks in closed beta. Halo 3 and ODST shouldn't be far behind either. Progress on the Master Chief remasters is finally hitting a good place, it seems, with the initial one taking a little long. It also was delivered with some annoying bugs. Hopefully 343 will start working to patch those issues out soon. That wraps it up for today's episode of This Week in Gaming. As always, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you thought was the most interesting story in the comments down below, or if you think we missed anything. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll see you next time. This is LevelCap, signing off.